Hello everybody, Dave Neal here, stand-up comic host of Bachelor Nation News. And in this video, we have Katie Thurston describing the breakup she had with a producer. And she actually gets emotional and sheds some tears, which is apropos because I'm actually soaking wet because it's raining outside and I just went out for a second to let my dog out. So here I am. Who let the dogs out? Power recap where Dave Neal did. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals. Patreon.com/Dave Neal for behind-the-scenes bonus content, plus stand-up comedy videos and so much more over there. And also Bachelor Rush Hour, the podcast. My interview with Dr. Diane Strakowski is up now, and you can go check it. Link in the comment section wherever you listen to podcasts. If you've never listened to a podcast before, it's just an audio clip. It's like a radio show. My mom's always like, "How's your podcast video YouTuber thing going?" The Facebook, and you're like, "Oh my gosh!" Just learn the difference. A podcast is audio for the most part, and interviews, and of course you can find it. Link in the comment section below. And if you only listen on your desktops, you can listen here too. All right, so let's get into it. Katie Thurston. Now she describes the moment she stormed off and how Kaitlyn Bristowe helped her. Plus, we're gonna show the clip of her breaking down. Of course, you can go support, and I highly recommend Game of Roses, the podcast on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. It's a fantastic interview. Have a listen.
I actually think I'm looking for a regular offline kind of guy. Mm-hmm. I think I have enough personality and social media to cover the both of us.
Yes.
And I just want someone who's just like
a civilian.
All right, so Katie wants a non-Instagrammer. So no TikTok stars need apply. We'll have to see how that goes for her. I mean, everyone's got social media, but I understand what she says. It's like only one person in a relationship should be taking photos of the food. Otherwise, it's going to be your tomato bisque is going to be frozen before you get a good photo.
17. When you're about to walk off the show, you've had enough. What do producers do? Like, what's that conversation like when a producer comes over to you to convince you to stay in this thing that is causing you so much stress?
Great question.
I did not talk to anybody. I stormed off the fastest I could to my bathroom. I locked the door. I took off my mic. There was like two doors, like a bathroom with a door and then like the main bathroom. Mm-hmm. I took the mic off and I threw it in the room, closed that bathroom door. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I was just shutting down. And that's when they sent in Kaitlyn to talk to me.
Oh,
but here's the funny thing. Again. There's a producer named Kaitlyn. And so when they said it was Kaitlyn, for the first 10 minutes, I do not want to talk to her because I don't realize it's Bristowe. And so I said something, like blah, 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 you guys. And she goes, "You guys, don't loop me in with them." I go, "Bristowe?" And she's like, "Yes." And that's when I opened the door and let her in.
How funny.
And then locked the door again.
How funny.
So what? I mean, she obviously is one of the greatest players of all time.
Bingo.
Pace Case believes she is the greatest. I believe that's Nick Vial. We will forever have this argument. But what was it like getting to know her, becoming a friend of hers? I mean, I assume she was a hero of yours from having watched her season and everything.
Well, she publicly posted that she DM'd Kaitlyn in 2016, supporting her.
Yeah,
long before all of this.
Yeah, Kaitlyn's been one that I've loved since the beginning, and so then to get to meet her and become friends with her, and she's like a sister now. Truly, it's crazy to reflect back and even reading the old message I sent her, and just being like, I've always been a fan of her, and to have her there with me was just the coolest way to go.
So very nice for Katie Thurston to give credit to Kaitlyn Bristowe, the original sex positive trailblazer in the Bachelor community, and now we're gonna see a turning of mood as we go from Kaitlyn Bristowe being part of this, rise you up, kind of help you through all of this mess, to a producer. And we never really figure out what the producer said or did, but Katie Thurston breaks down as she explains the turmoil after cutting this producer out of her life. Let's have a listen.
Manipulating people to destroy their lives.
None of that. But I will say my producer recently actually reached out. We had not spoken since my engagement. My engagement felt just such a weird thing. I think we were just all tired. There was nothing yay. It just felt like everyone was just ready to just be done.
Yeah.
And him and I were so close leading up to my Bachelorette experience. It felt like we were best friends. We were FaceTiming every day. I loved him as a brother, a friend. We were so close. And it was truly heartbreaking when by the end of the experience, it just tore us apart in terms of our friendship. I could cry actually.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's hard. I did not expect that.
And I love Chad here. He goes, oh shit. Watch her one more time. Chad's like, oh, because I mean, by all means, we definitely feel bad for Katie, but at the same time, as a podcaster, you know, Chad's like, ding ding, got her to cry. No, I'm kidding. No, that sounded so cold hearted. They're obviously very compassionate.
The experience, it just tore us apart in terms of like our friendship. I could cry actually.
Oh shit.
You go, oh shit.
Yeah, it's hard. I did not expect that.
Yeah, he's like,
it's a tough experience to go through. Like it really fucks you up. And so yeah, we didn't talk for like 2 years. And then recently he reached out to talk and go over things, and we had a drink and he apologized, and it just brought me like so much like peace and closure in the experience, because it really is just, it's the hardest thing I've ever done, truly. Sorry,
I'm sure Katie, you know, she's off contract, which means she can do anyone's interviews or this or that. But, you know, the NDA they sign is for life. And I'm sure she can't explain the trade secrets as to why she feels like there was a falling out with her producer. My guess is it was the things she didn't know about that happened. We found out after Greg Grippo, after he left, tried to contact Katie. You know, maybe to make amends or whatever, but for whatever reason, they kept this from Katie. So on one end, you go into it blind as a lead, and you say that you hope that you're going to be, you hope that, everyone's got your back and that you're the star and they want your success. But as happens by the third act of the season, no one's there to protect you. Your emotions, your reactions and storming off, that's all going to be used against you for the ratings.
I'm sorry. Just like reliving all these emotions, you know, and like putting myself back in the mindset that I was in during filming and after filming, and the relationships that are no longer there. It's just like, I don't recommend the experience to people. Like, to have fun. I'm like,
she's like, 0 stars, do not recommend.
Fuck off. Like, fun is not the first word you think of when you go through that.
Wow.
Totally.
So.
Do you regret it?
I definitely don't regret it. I mean, like, it's obviously like had its benefits, and people always say like, it gave you so much. It's like, yeah, like depression, you know?
It gave you so much. Oh man, can we hold on? This is better if we have our special music for it. Let's listen one more time.
I definitely don't regret it. I mean, like, it's obviously like had its benefits, and people always say like, it gave you so much. It's like, yeah, like depression, you know, like.
Oh, Katie, funny stuff. Yeah, that should be in the stand-up act. Yeah, I got a lot from my time as the Bachelorette, like crippling anxiety and depression. I did fall in love with medication. No, not to say she's medicated. Making jokes, but it's like, look, people wonder why you don't want to go on the show. And the low IQ way of thinking, people go, oh, you got so much out of it, you got paid, you got this. Yeah, that's all true, and yet there's also such a burden placed on you as a normal human that no one could be prepared for.
There are things to gain from it, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to continue to like farm that and benefit. Like the show didn't give me the comedy that I'm doing now. You know, like that's something I took on my own. So I don't regret it. It just took a lot of healing to get to a mental place that I am in now.
Yeah.
It was so hard.
And does the show help you with that healing at all? Are there like therapists that they offer you after the show or anything? I know there's one during show.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely offer support, but like there's a certain point where you are just like, you just want to be done. You don't want the resources anymore. You don't want them anymore. You feel betrayed, lied, used. Like there's just a lot of negativity, at least for me.
They should give you a credit to use at a therapist of your choosing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I wouldn't want the trigger of the show that made me feel a certain way is then trying to provide some cleanup for it. It'd be like if you go to a restaurant and the restaurant, didn't cook the chicken cacciatore all the way, so you shit your pants, and then they're like, here's some toilet paper. It's like, get out of here. I'll take the toilet paper, but get out of here.
I can't speak for anyone else's feelings and opinions, but
good analogy.
Yeah, I didn't want to utilize them, and there's just even a level of like trust. You know,
sure.
I'm sure there's like laws that like protect you, but like you're just so triggered. You're just like, I don't know that I want to use your people. You know.
Totally, because they could just be producers, or at least talking back to producers about
who really know. Like,
well, I mean, I think if you're a therapist and you don't, maintain confidentiality, I'm sure you could lose your job. But yeah, I mean, I could understand not trusting that they wouldn't pull that.
I also just like don't even know, like, you can have a therapist, but like, you know, I have a therapist, and look, she hasn't fixed everything. Like, I've had shout out to her. She's doing a great job, but you know, there's only so much she can do. I have struggled with my mental health in terms of like just, and you know, we're on a much smaller platform and stuff, but just dealing with the feedback and the constant, it's a lot of like opinions about yourself, and like, I don't think the brain is formulated to be able to like handle that. And yours is on such a larger scale that I'm just like, it's not surprising to me that like this is how you would be feeling. And we've heard Clayton talk about it very openly about how bad his mental health was from going through this experience. And I like,
What's hard is that you get off the show and you have the monetization of Instagram, influencer deals, and this and that. I don't know how I would do this, but you'd almost recommend contestants don't go online. But it's so hard. Everything we do online, from our banking apps to our this, everything's connected. So it's like, what do you just do? Get a flip phone and just try to ride it out for a year? You know what I mean? Which might be the case. We know there's been contestants that I've reached out to, that I've talked to, and in their DMs, from some contestants, it's like their best friend running their account, because it's like you need someone to help you screen all the negativity out. But death by 1,000 paper cuts is the game. So many people leave messages that are so annoying and so misinterpreted and so wrong, and you go like, you don't even know what the hell you're talking about. I get those. I'm like the Game of Roses here. Like I'm just you know, this is nothing compared to what the leads go through.
I don't know what the solution is. Like maybe yeah, I don't know, but it's definitely something to consider. And I don't think it's something that you need to make a TV show. I'm sorry. Like there's tons of TV shows that are made with productions where the showrunner, it like sets a kind example for the rest, and you can still make good, entertaining TV.
And that's Chad and Lizzie from Game of Roses podcast. She's absolutely right. A showrunner is essentially like the person in charge of everything. They're like the head producer. They're at the top of the game. They make all the decisions. They've probably created the show. So the showrunner you don't need this crazy amount of sort of psychological warfare to make the show successful. At least that's the hypothesis. Let me know what you guys think. Bachelor Rush Hour is live right now. Link in the comments section to listen to my full conversation with Dr. Diane Strakowski. I'll be back at 7 p.m. East Coast for the live stream later on today. Before tonight's episode of The Bachelor, we'll talk to you a little bit. Bye, guys.